Hey guys, welcome. This is Marcus. This is Moments with Marcus. I know I've taken like 1 or 2 days off, but hopefully we can make up for that. I got a very special request from one of my favorite subscribers and clients, and he wants to know a couple of things. He wants to know about kicks and bass and how to make them work together and really bring out the power of each. And then he also wants to know about sidechain, and then we'll move on to our next lesson. But first, now let's open Logic. Loading up Logic, we want to talk about what sidechaining actually is. So, sidechaining is the methodology of using one sound to compress another sound. So, for example, if I have a kick drum and a bass, and the bass is hitting so hard that you can barely hear my kick drum, I might compress the bass so that every time the kick drum punches, it ducks under. And maybe that's a technique that we'll do today. All right, so now that's the basic idea for the song that we're working on. And what we want to do is we want to get to a part of the song where we get two instruments and we can kind of show you what the purpose of sidechaining is and how that's actually going to work for us. So let's go right here to where we have all of our instruments. So now you just hear the bass and the kick drum. Now, so far, that's not bad, but I think that the bass could duck a little bit more under the kick drum. So let's go to it now. So we're going to start by putting an SSL compressor on here. These are really, really, really good compressors for sidechaining, especially the SSL comp down here. There it is. Okay, so this is where we'll do our sidechaining. Now, if you notice, it allows you to set your sidechain to different buses or different inputs, not necessarily audio channels. So what we're going to do is we're going to set, this is our kick drum here, just so that this isn't confusing. And then this is our bass. All right, so we're setting our SSL to adjust to the kick. So let's see where the kick's going. All right, so what we're doing now is we're sending the signal from the kick drum channel out into bus 4, but we don't necessarily want it to join in with the rest of the instrumental, because then that makes the kick drum way too loud. It destroys the mix. It just does a number of things that it just messes up everything. So what we're going to do here, excuse me for that, is now that we have this going into bus 4, there's no output, so it's not in the way. We can go back to our bass and set our sidechain to bus 4. So now when the kick drum hits, so now what you're seeing is you can use side chaining to make one sound a priority over another sound. And that's really the main purpose of side chaining. Um, Also, instead of side chaining, sometimes we would, subvert that whole process and we'd just EQ. And this is where the conversation about kicks and basses and, how those things come into play, or any sound really comes into play, is understanding what frequencies are important and what needs to be a priority in what frequency band of each instrument. Um, So I think that should explain what side chaining is. In the very next video, what we're going to do is we're going to explore kick drums and basses, and like really how to bring out the most in each of their characters.